Yes, so hi everyone and a warm welcome to our lecture number 2, CA Final IDT. Yesterday we had a brief introduction about various concepts. Our every class will start with a brief revision of whatever we did in the last class before building on to the new concept. But in no manner whatsoever it will replace your own revision. You always have to revise before coming to the class. I hope you have revised, okay? I will ask every 2-3 days, I will ask have you revised or not. At the weekend also you should try to revise for the entire week. That is the way you complete the classes in a qualitative manner. So when once our classes are completed, your one time study will be done alongside. Okay? Yes. So yesterday certain concepts that we covered, I'm not going into the details of the constitution and other things. That is fine, we can leave that. But the other concepts that we had started, let's quickly revise those. We saw a small example that showed that how the input tax credit becomes the heart and soul of the GST. How input tax credit makes our GST a value added tax. Okay, so everyone takes the ITC and everyone is going to pay the net amount that needs to be paid. So the actual revenue earning for the government happens only when there is a final consumer involved in the transaction, because that time he or she does not get the ITC. Taxable event in the supply in the GST is the supply that we are going to be decoding it together today in section number 7. Nature of transaction, we saw there are basically two transactions, intra and inter, that we will be decoding in chapter number 3, that is the place of supply. There were 3 non-taxable items that we covered: alcoholic liquor for human consumption, 5 petroleum products, and a raw material for the alcoholic liquor for human consumption, that is the undenatured extra neutral alcohol, also known as rectified spirit. Sir, what if it is used for the industrial application? So that will be known as denatured. That is very much under the application of the GST. Two special cases we saw which are suffering the current duty as well, that is the GST as well as the earlier taxes as well. GST rates we saw, schedules we saw, schedule number 1, schedule number 2, schedule number 3. Schedule number 1 is basically the deemed supply, schedule number 2 talks about whether it is goods or services, and schedule number 3 we talked about was the negative list. That's something which may qualify all the parameters of supply, but it will still not be a supply. Okay. Lingu, the constitutional articles we do not require. I have not given all the references in the book that are not a part of our course, so I have mentioned it only in the hand notes. Okay, so don't worry. Whatever is there in your ICM material, we have covered. 2-3 instances, I have skipped certain small procedural things that also I have made the complete disclosure in your books that this part we will be reading from the ICM material. So don't worry on that part. Then we talked about the exempt supply, that is section number 2, clause 47. Exempt supply means 3 things. Nil rated supply, that is the rate is given but it is 0. That is nil rated. Non-taxable items, non-taxable that we just now covered. And third is exempt via notification. So for example, chapter number 4, there is an exemption notification, or tomorrow it might be some other notification as well. Okay, now zero rated supply. You might have a query. The Hindi batch had this query that, sir, what is the difference between zero rated and nil rated? Guys, zero rated means don't take this literally as to zero and a rate. Zero rated is in general meaning that there is no taxation involved in the complete transaction. Input also we will give you back the credit, we will give the credit and we will give you the refund, and output also there will be no taxation, because we believe in the principle of exporting the goods and services, not the taxes. So please don't get confused between zero rated and nil rated. Zero rated is separate, nil rated is a part of the exempt supply. Tomorrow maybe nil rated item is put into the GST bracket as well. They may prescribe 5% GST for that or any other rate possible. So the zero rated is going to be having 2 things: export transactions and SEZ developer SEZ unit transactions, provided they are for authorized operations. Then FCM RCM we saw, reverse charge mechanism we will be covering the list in chapter number 2. Then we talked about registered person and taxable person. Registered person also, the detailed definition we have not covered yet, but yes, understanding needs to be there that registered means I have my GST, that is a 15-digit GST that we see. I will be showing you the GST certificate as well, don't worry, at the time of registration chapter. So registered person is there and a taxable person is there. Taxable person means registered plus liable to be registered, and this person is liable to pay the GST. We will be focusing upon this word when I cover the charging section. So charging section is going to put the liability on a taxable person, which will link to the real life example of the Pani Puri wale bhaiya. Okay, then we have the basic law reading and certain points that we covered. Beyond that, I have to start building the concepts today. Okay, yes, can we start? Yes. Come on. Let's see. Now, yesterday we also talked about the goods and services definition. Basically, the goods is every kind of a movable property except money, except securities, includes actionable claims, crops and grass provided they are agreed to be cut before or during the supply but not after the supply. So that is what we are going to cover. Services other than goods, other than money, other than securities, but the transactions with respect to money, the transactions with respect to securities, they are very much a supply. Yes, let's quickly revise that. Goods means, pay attention everyone. Sir, do we need to learn the definitions as it is? Answer is no. When I'm asking you to learn the definitions, I'm not asking you to learn the grammar. I'm asking you to learn the keywords that at least you should be able to write. You should be able to write this word movable property. You should be able to quote it correctly other than money, other than securities, but includes these two items. The English language can change. It's absolutely fine. Okay. So let's quickly revise this. The goods means exhaustive definition. Okay. It means every kind of a movable property other than money, other than securities, but includes. That is what we had covered yesterday. But includes actionable claim. Actionable claim, we will decode it a little more today. So in general, you have the understanding that actionable claim is a claim on the basis of which the civil court will grant us the relief. So it includes an actionable claim and growing crops, grass, and things attached to or forming part of the land which are agreed to be severed. Severed means they are agreed to be cut before the supply or under a contract of supply, not after the supply. If I am selling the land to Gayatri and that time the grass is not cut, it is not agreed to be cut, at that time then the grass cannot be goods because it is not movable, it is attached to the land. So this is merely a land sale, and land is not a movable property. Plus it will be covered in the negative list as well. So it needs to be severed before or during the contract of supply. Simple. So goods is done. Now we had linked two definitions here: money, securities, and in fact three, actionable claim as well. So what was the definition of money that we covered? Legal tender exchange, that is used as a basically medium of exchange to settle your obligation. But sir, we did not include the items, the currencies which are held for the numismatic value. Yes, so let's quickly review that as well. Money means Indian legal tender or any foreign currency as well. It can be USD, it can be UK pound, it can be Japanese yen, I don't care. It is an Indian legal tender or any foreign currency in any form. So currency can be there, check can be there, promissory note can be there, bill of exchange can be there, letter of credit can be there, draft, demand draft can be there that we use to pay our institute fees, pay order can be there, traveler check, money order, postal or electronic remittance, your UPI can be there, credit card can be there, NEFT can be there, or any other instrument recognized by RBI. Sir, we understood it. Money means money that you pay in any form whatsoever recognized by the RBI, that is our institution in India. It when used as a consideration to settle an obligation. That is your medium of exchange. So you booked my IDT class, and you used your money to settle that obligation. You had an obligation to pay me. Simple, means the BB virtuals. So you used your money. And you did not use your goods. Money is not goods. You used the money to get my teaching services. That is how we had linked. Or exchange with Indian legal tender of another denomination. So maybe you are just changing the denomination. You are changing the currency. That is fine. You're changing the currency. You're changing the denomination, foreign to INR, INR to foreign. It's okay. But shall not include any currency that is held for numismatic value. Numismatic value we had covered, a rare coin. So that rare coin, when it is sold, it will be considered as a goods. It will be considered as a goods. Is this clear? This is what we had covered yesterday. Rectification is not required here. Very simple language you can write. If asked, not very high chances of being asked. Okay, sir, then we talked about securities as well, that money and securities are neither goods nor services. Sir, can you explain the meaning of securities? See, general layman we know, securities mean shares, debentures, equity shares, all kinds of these things are covered. Technically, they have not defined securities separately. They say that securities means as per your Securities Contract Regulation Act. That is not a part of our course exhaustively. General meaning you and me know. Some clarifications we will see in the chapter of supply, but general understanding we have that it is the shares and debentures and the securities that we understand in a layman manner. I hope this is clear. Okay. Clear? Now, sir, can you explain the actionable claim meaning also? Now, what I will be doing, there are sometimes some topics where I need to make a certain draft. I will be putting that already in the notes, and then I will be putting this heading as class notings. Here I will write class notings. So that is something that we will construct together. I will write certain things while explaining the concept to you. Okay. So bifurcation will be clear to you. Class notings. Now let's understand quickly the meaning of actionable claim. Sir, actionable claims are goods. Till now, whatever we have covered, actionable claims are goods. But what is the meaning of actionable claim? Sir, generally we know a claim on the basis of which we have some action. That is, I can take the action, the court will grant me the relief. So basically, there is no definition of actionable claim in GST. We refer the actionable claim as per TOPA Act. Sir, what is TOPA? Transfer of Property Act. It is an Indian law, Transfer of Property Act, in which two things are covered. First, unsecured debt. First, unsecured debt. Sir, why unsecured? And if it is secured debt, then why are you going to the civil court? You sell the security and recover your dues. So unsecured debt is covered. And second, a beneficial interest in any movable property. A beneficial interest in any movable property which is not in your possession. Sir, what do you mean by beneficial interest? One is registered interest or registered owner, and one is a beneficial interest. So beneficial interest is the actual owner. You must have heard these transactions in Benami law, that who is the beneficial owner. Gayatri may be holding asset, but I am the beneficial owner. I have paid the consideration. I am the beneficial owner. So if I have a beneficial interest in any movable property, but it is not in my possession, because if it is in your possession, why do you need to go to the civil court for any action? Why do you need relief? It is your beneficial interest. You already have the possession. Then why do you need to go? So this is not in my possession, or it is an unsecured debt. These are known as the actionable claims. These are known as the actionable claims. For example, insurance claim. For example, insurance claim. For example, betting. For example, gambling. Sir, all the actionable claims are going to stay under GST? No. I will be providing you with some knowledge on this in schedule number 3. But right now, you have to understand that all the actionable claims are goods. All the actionable claims are goods. Is this clear? So this is the general meaning of actionable claim. Okay, so goods is clear, services is clear, money is clear, securities is clear. Now next definition we need to understand is what is the meaning of India? What is the meaning of India? Okay, let's see first from the definition, then I will take you to the handwritten note. Sir, India means, pay attention, what all things can be covered? I'm staying in Pune. Is Pune a part of India? Yes. You guys are joining from Kerala, Tamil Nadu. Is it a part of India? Yes. So whatever the land boundary is there, whatever the land of states and union territories there, that is a part of India. Absolutely yes, sir. Sir, what about the airspace above? So let's say me and Ojas, we enter into a transaction while we were in a flight, Indigo flight, flying from Tamil Nadu to Delhi. So can I say that Nirmala Tai, please don't charge GST because we are operating in air, we are conducting a transaction in air? No, sir. Airspace also is a part of India. Okay, sir, what about the water bodies? See, territorial waters of India. Territorial waters means I have, the Indian government has a exclusive right with respect to it. It is whole and sole exclusive right of any country to decide and legislate with respect to its territorial waters of India, which extend till 12 nautical miles from the coast. And 1 nautical mile is approximately 1.84 kilometers. So whatever are the territorial waters from the base coast of the India, that is a part of India. Sir, what about airspace above the TWI? Yes, the territorial waters of India are just like the land boundaries. So airspace above the territorial waters of India is also part of India. Sir, then what if I conduct any transaction in a submarine which is underwater in the territorial waters? Sir, is it a part of India? Absolutely yes. The subbed, the seabed and the subsoil, Below the territorial waters of India, that is also part of India. And what about beyond that? So there is an exclusive economic zone. Exclusive economic zone is 200 nautical miles. 200 nautical miles. Sir, exclusive economic zone is not my exclusive right. But in the definition of India, I have covered such exclusive economic zone as well. But just for you to understand, the rights, the taxability in the exclusive economic zone will be subject to international rights and treaties and agreements with the other foreign governments. All those foreign agreements, the specific act, we don't have to cover. For general understanding, you can note that the continental shelf, exclusive economic zone, or any other referred is in that particular maritime law. You don't have to learn the act, it's okay. Any other referred maritime zone that tomorrow can change as well, that also we are including in the part of India, but it may be subject to certain treaties and certain adjustments by the government. But other than that, my land boundary, my territorial waters, India, it is an exclusive right. So on an overall level, sir, we are covering India means land plus air. Land is defined. Land means India. India means Bharat. It is defined in Article number 1 of the Constitution. So entire boundary, entire area of our states and our union territories is a part of India. TWI plus air, airspace above, it is a part of India. Below TWI, sir, why was there a need to cover the underwater part as well? I told you now, the transactions can take place in a submarine. Certain economic activities like oil rigs, oil exploration, that can take place underneath. So there we cannot raise this ground that, sir, it is not a part of India. It is a part of India. The GST will be applicable. Sir, what will be the place of supply? There is no state as such covered there. That I will cover in chapter number 3. Right now, focus that it is a part of India. It is a taxable territory. An exclusive economic zone, the 200 nautical miles, that is also covered, or any other maritime zone you can say, that is also part of our India. So on a gross level, you can say 4 things are to be mentioned as a part of India. That is my taxable territory. That is my taxable territory. Because we know that GST extends to the whole of India. And whatever is not India, it is a NTT, non-taxable territory. So US, UK, beyond exclusive economic zone, it is a non-taxable territory, a basic definition of India. Clear? Done? Okay. Now, I want to start with the chapter of supply officially. And we are going to be decoding a lot of things together. I hope till this point everything is clear. Everyone, give me a quick thumbs up. All okay? Everyone? Clear? Can I proceed? Do I have your permission? Clear. Okay. So I would start with supply now. Done. Okay. So let's start with the chapter of supply. Sir, what all things are we going to cover? A brief synopsis of what is the coverage of this chapter. We are going to be starting with section number 7, that is supply. Then we are going to be proceeding towards the 3 schedules, the reference that we have already given in the yesterday's class. Then there are certain non-supplies which are clarified via circular and notification. So instead of schedule 3, the government has the power to prescribe non-supplies via circulars and notification. That power is also given. So government can do that as well. Then we will talk about composite supply and mixed supply. This is my legal part. And then last we will cover certain issues and clarifications, because GST law is very dynamic. In the market there are queries that come up, there are issues that crop up. So accordingly the department issues notifications and clarifications that we will cover. This is what the chapter of supply is going to cover. So let's start with section number 7. We will decode the section. You will love the interpretation. Let's start. Section number 7, meaning and scope of supply. All the sections are primarily of the CGST Act. Only there are 2 chapters where IGST Act is going to come. I will tell you that. So all the sections are of CGST Act. Let's start. Section number 7, meaning and scope of supply. Basically what happens, all these sections supply, it can be interstate supply, it can be intrastate supply. So same thing will apply for IGST Act as well. Only there are certain things which apply with respect to interstate trade and commerce that we cover from the IGST Act. Balance everything it is from CGST. The primary law is CGST only. Okay, IGST just covers certain extra aspects with respect to IGST, with respect to the interstate trade commerce. Fine, let's start. Sir, what is supply? What is supply? Supply is a taxable event. Taxable event gives rise to a tax consequence, sir. Taxable event gives rise to tax consequence. So let's see. For the purpose of this act. So for the purpose of CGST, supply includes, oh, sir, the intention of the government is to not restrict the definition. The intention of the government is to keep it open-ended. Tomorrow it is possible there is something new which is coming into the market, some new form of a transaction that comes into the market. So government is trying to play safe by saying includes and not saying means. Okay, so it includes clause number A, the three basic parameters of supply. Yesterday I have told you it should be goods or services, it should involve a consideration, and it should involve business. So let's see. Parameter number 1. It includes all the forms of supply. Sir, what are the forms of supply? Forms of supply is just what is the type of transaction you are entering into. I am giving you services. Let's say I am giving you a calculator. So I am selling you the calculator, or maybe we are entering into a barter transaction, or maybe we are entering into some kind of a rental agreement. So these are the different forms of supply. I don't care what form of supply you enter into. I care about the fact that it should be either goods or services. So the money securities are not going to be covered under GST. And if someone asks why, you will say that money securities are neither goods nor services, hence the parameter of supply is not fulfilled. So it includes all the forms of supply of goods, services, or both. We will interpret this maybe today or tomorrow. What is the exact meaning of this both? Okay, but right now understand all forms of supply of goods, services, or both, such as, again, if you see the intention of the interpretation and intention of the government, it is just giving examples. That we are just giving examples. Other forms of supply can also be covered tomorrow because the market is evolving. So what all supply forms can be there? Sale, mere transfer, barter, exchange, license, rental, lease, disposal. There is no need to learn any short code word for these kind of terms. No one is going to ask you formally that write the forms of supply. Okay, you are at CA final level. We are more focused on the concept and application part rather than rectification. Right? Sir, are these forms of supply defined somewhere? Answer is no. These are not defined anywhere in the CGST Act. General meaning has to be assigned. Sale means I am selling it to you. Transfer also kind of the same. Barter means I am giving you this calculator and you are giving me this bottle. This is a barter. Exchange is just like barter but may involve some part of money. License, rental, you know, giving a house on rent, giving a, let's say I'm giving this bottle on rent of 100 rupees per day. It's a rent, it's a lease, it's a disposal. Disposal means I'm giving it off. So we don't care what is the form of supply. We focus on the fact that it should be goods or services. I hope the parameter number 1 is absolutely clear to you. So parameter number 1 is goods or services. Forms of supply, I don't care. This is also just an illustrative list. This is also an illustrative list. Okay, sir. Parameter number 2, made or agreed to be made. Oh, so sir, if we enter an agreement, consideration is yet to be transferred. Is it a supply? Yes. You pre-booked the class 1 month before. The supply has not yet started formally. And let's say the pre-booking is just by paying rupee 1. You are yet to give me the consideration, but supply has been entered into. The supply has been entered into. So can we say that, sir, every supply in the GST in essence is a simple agreement or a contract? Yes. It is just a mere agreement. It is still a supply provided the parameters are completed. Consideration, No one is asking that the consideration should be paid upfront, but it is agreed. So mere agreement is also supply. So sir, will government ask for the GST payment also? Yet to be seen, because that will be covered in chapter number 5, time of supply. That when the GST needs to be paid to the government. Right now the focus is on whether it is a taxable event or not. So yes, it is a taxable event. So made or agreed to be made for a consideration by a person. So the form of supply, whatever I am doing, it is being done by a person. And what is the meaning of person? Any kind of a person that you study in all types of law. It can be a natural person, it can be an individual, it can be a company, it can be LLP, it can be a partnership firm, it can be any artificial person, I don't care. This is also well defined in the GST law, but this is just like your income tax or any other Companies Act. Any kind of person is covered. This is my parameter number 2. And parameter number 3, it should happen in the course or furtherance of business. Course or furtherance of business means in the course of business, means it is a part of my business. Furtherance of business means again it is a part of my business. To conduct the business, I am doing this supply. It's my business to conduct CA final coaching class. It is the business of the BB Virtuals to conduct the CA final classes. So all in all, it is a part of business. Furtherance means to improve my business in course of business. So 3 parameters are done. But sir, 2 definitions now we need to dig into. What is the meaning of business? And what is the meaning of consideration? So that's why, see, we have to go link by link at least for the first 2-3 classes. If I teach you consideration beforehand, you will not understand that what is the implication of it. Now you understand the implication that it is a part of the parameters. If I directly teach you business, you will not have a link that where are we using it. Now you understand it is one of the parameters of the supply. So let's understand what is business. Let's understand what is consideration. What is business, sir? Section 2, clause 17. Section 2, clause 17. Business, first of all, the definition need not be learned. You don't need to learn it at all. Read it twice. It will be okay. Now, sir, business is a very wide definition. The business is a very wide definition and an inclusive definition. Government will try to include everything possible with respect to any trade, business, profession, vocation, everything, any commercial activity you can think of, it will be a part of the business because it is one of the parameters of supply. So it is an inclusive definition. Read it twice. Let's do it. Business includes any trade, any commerce. Trade you understand, commerce we understand, manufacturing we understand, profession, CA, CS, cost accountant profession, vocation, kind of a business only. Vocation is a commercial activity. You are doing some form of a skill and you are selling it. You are doing vocation. Adventure, some form of an adventure activity. It is business. Wager, kind of a bet. Wager is kind of a bet that you are applying. You are playing some bet or some wager you are applying depending upon, let's say, simple case that if it rains, I will pay you ₹100. That is also business. It is a wager that you have entered into. Or any other similar activity, whether or not it is for pecuniary benefit. Pecuniary means monetary benefit. So we don't care what is your intention. We don't care whether you are doing it for money or not. It is a manufacture, trade, commerce. It is a part of business. You cannot say, no, sir, I was not doing for money. You are doing for business. It will be still part of the business. Any other similar means they are still open for including something else here. B. These are my sub clauses. Okay. This is clause. This is sub clause. B. Any activity or transaction in connection or incidental or ancillary means similar to what? Sub clause A. Government is trying to expand the scope, that we might not have used every word possible, but incidental activities are also covered in the definition of business. C. Any activity or transaction in the nature of subclause A. Okay, Nirmala Tai, we understood. Nirmala Tai, we understood that you are trying to expand the definition. So again, you write any transaction in nature. Okay, we understand you are trying to cover everything. We understand. Further part is important. Whether or not there is volume, frequency, continuity, regularity of such transaction. I conduct only one batch in CFNL IDT, for example. And I say to Nirmala Tai, Tai, I conduct only one batch. I'm not doing it entire year like other faculties. So I'm not doing business. No, Mr. Valimbe, you are doing business. We don't care what is the volume of your transactions. We don't care what is the frequency of your work. We don't care whether there is a continuity or not, and we don't care whether there is a regularity or not. You are doing business. It might be a one-off transaction. I don't care. It is a part of business. B. Supply or acquisition of goods, including the capital goods. Sir, what is capital goods? Capital item, which are capitalized in your books of accounts, like a machine or some other capital asset. So those are inputs and there are capital items. So capital goods means capitalized in your books. So supply or acquisition, selling or buying the goods and services in connection with commencement or closure of business. I'm starting a business or I'm ending the business for which I'm selling the goods, I'm buying the goods, it is business. So you cannot say that, sir, I am closing the business, hence this is closure. No, this is not a day-to-day business. No, it is business. Government is just trying to make its position very wide enough to cover everything in the definition. Provision by a club, association, society or any body for subscription or any consideration for the facilities or benefits to its members. We pay a monthly maintenance to our society RWA. It is business. The RWA will say that no, sir, we are just doing it for the common facilities of the member. No, it is business. Government has clarified it. Government has provided this in subclause E that is also business. Membership fee I pay. There is a club in Pune, Gymkhana Club. There is a club in Delhi, Delhi Gymkhana Club. All those services are part of business. Or any other body. Let's say there is a trade union. Let's say there is a trade union for which you have to pay a certain amount of money. Let's say the trade union is for the airline industry. So all the airline industry workers are paying a subscription fee because it takes care of the interest of all the workers involved. It is a business. Admission for consideration of persons to any premises. You buy entry ticket to visit a show. You buy entry ticket to visit a water park. It is a business. Services by a person as the holder of any office which has been accepted by him in the course or furtherance of his trade, profession or vocation. There is a person, there is my friend who is a soil expert, and a mining company has asked him to undertake a position of consultant. He says that, sir, I'm not doing business, I'm just accepting an office because my profession requires. My profession demands and I can do it as a part of my soil consultant. No, you have accepted that office. You're doing your profession. It is business. So holder of office means you are kind of taking a position. You're kind of taking a consulting position. It is a part of business. You will have to charge GST. So finance consultant, someone is working as a finance consultant, not on the payroll, doing business. Activities of a race club. Racing happens, you are putting bets. You are putting bets in that race club. See, activities of a race club including by way of a totalizer or a license to bookmaker or activities of a licensed bookmaker in such club. What is this? The club which are providing these activities of betting and gambling, they are a part of business. Sir, what is the meaning of this word totalizer? Totalizer is kind of a mechanism. It is kind of a mechanism which matches the bets. It deducts the commission of the organizer. It deducts the commission of the organizer and then distributes the net amount, the balance amount into the winners. Just a part of a system of this club. So those race clubs are also providing business. Or any activity or transaction which is undertaken by central, state, or local authority. The top union government, state government, or the third level local authority, the third level government, municipality level. So these transactions which are undertaken by the government in which they are engaged as a public authority. Now, what do you mean by public authority? They are providing the activities, they are providing the services to the public at large. So DTC, the Delhi Transport Corporation is providing AC buses in Delhi. Pune Municipal Corporation is providing AC buses as a transportation service. Is it a part of business? Absolutely yes. Government cannot take a stand itself that we are providing the services to public at large. So this is not business. It is absolutely a business. But sir, will actually GST be levied here? We will see in chapter number 4. We may see some exemptions here. But that is a separate analysis. Now we will be doing structured thinking. Slowly you will have to develop structured thinking, that right now the focus is on whether it is business or not, and whether it is a supply or not. Tomorrow that supply may become an exempt supply. That is a separate question. But today it is a supply. It is a part of business. Sir, what about sovereign functions? What about sovereign functions? What are sovereign functions? For example, police service. The government is providing security to the people at large. It is business? No. So those are known as sovereign functions, the constitutional functions of our country, the basic rights that they are giving to the citizens of India. Those are not business. But public authority functions are a part of business where they are earning money from us. This much understanding is more than what you require for exam. No one is going to mostly ask you this definition. But we need to be prepared, because see, my purpose is you should be able to interpret the law as a professional. So this is how this definition flows. Now, small question I have in front of you. Let's see if you are able to answer that. I will write in the class notings now. Suppose there is this person here, Mr. A or Mrs. A. Pay attention. Mrs. A wants to start business. But she doesn't want to take any loan. She doesn't want to take any outside capital. So she sells her jewelry. She goes to a jeweler, let's say Kalyan Jewelers, and she sells it for, let's say, 50 lakh rupees. My simple question to you, can Nirmala Tai ask for GST on the sale of goods? Analyze the definition of business. Give me your answer and then we will decode. Do you think she is doing the business? Do you think this will be a part of the business and whether the GST will be applicable? There are two approaches here. Not a business. Yes, no. As expected, both answers are coming. Some people are saying yes and some people are saying no. Starting of business. Yes, it is a business. Okay. Both answers are correct. All the people who are saying yes, it is correct, because there is a clear understanding of the word where the definition says regardless of volume, regardless of frequency, and regardless of regularity. So if we apply the law as it is, pure legal approach, it will say that we don't care whether it is a one-time transaction, we will apply this as a business and we will be charging the GST. But now, apart from the GST, apart from the legal analysis, we need to develop a feel factor. Our legal analysis should be such that it should not lead to absurd results. You remember interpretation of statutes? Reasonable construction needs to happen. It should not put adverse impact on the people. So ask your feel factor. Ask your feel factor. Ask your logic and heart. Do you think this is logical that someone is selling the jewelry, a lady is selling her jewelry, and Nirmala Tai says and comes and says that you have to get registered under GST and pay GST on this and file the return? Is it something that you are able to absorb in your heart and mind? Answer is no. And this was how the department press release was issued. Department press release was issued, and the department said that these kind of transactions don't put under the GST, don't consider this as a business. Sir, will they ask this in the paper? Most probably not. But you should have the understanding of how the real life nuances take place. Similarly, it may happen that tomorrow you are an employee, you are working in a big four, you had a car. Now, since you are making handsome amount of money, you want to sell the old car. You go to a second hand dealer, you sell the car. Would we consider you as a part of business? Legally, yes. Department release, no. Yes, absolutely. It is just like substance over form. It is absolutely like substance over form. And this is a part of your material. I have also mentioned it here. Both examples I have mentioned it here. But on the other hand, let's say Alman Khan. So he's a famous actor. He has painted some paintings and sold them. Sale of paintings will be considered to be a part of the business because business includes vocation. He is a part of the creative industry where he acts for money. And during that time, he painted something and he sold it. Vocation. See, vocation technically it's not business, but something kind of a skill that you are monetizing. So you're a creative guy, you're an actor, you're selling the art as well, you're selling your talent as well, you're doing movies as well. Part of the business, it will be vocation. You will be paying the GST. Somewhere there is a two views which are possible in these cases. That's why we have picked the examples right from your ICS study material. I hope this is clear. Business is clear, everyone. So the business definition is done. Inclusive definition, each and everything is covered. Each and everything it is covered. Now, next I have to cover with the definition of the word consideration. Now I would like to construct the definition with you. How to distinguish, sir? Vamsi, somewhere you have to apply it on the fact-to-fact basis. We cannot have a one conclusion which will apply to each and every case. Somewhere we have to see what is the purpose, what is the person's day-to-day life looks like. I'm an employee in a company selling the second-hand car. It is not a part of my business. A lady selling her old jewelry, not a part of her business. She's doing a one-time transaction. Actor may be selling paintings time and again. So part of the business. But somewhere overlap is there. That's why department press release came. I hope it is clear. Okay, done. Can we analyze the definition of consideration? We will construct it together. Okay, let's see the definition of consideration. Sir, what is consideration in general? It is something in return, quid pro quo, something you might have ratified in CA Foundation. Quid pro quo, something in return. Now pay attention. I'm your teacher. Okay? I'm your faculty. I will be teaching you IDT like never before. Yes, I will be taking your class. Now there are 4 students in front of me. One is Vamsi. One is Gayatri. One is Ojas. And one is Eva. So these are the 4 students who are going to register for my class. I tell them that my class fee is going to be, let's say, whatever it is, let's say 5,000. Vamsi says, okay, sir, I will transfer 5,000 to you. Done. Gayatri says that, sir, I don't have the cash on me right now, but I have a good watch. I will give you a watch. Is it fine? I saw the watch that Gayatri was gifting. Not gifting, means giving me for the teaching services. I found it very attractive. I said, okay, Gayatri, no worries. Give me the watch. So Gayatri gave me a watch. I asked Ojas, Ojas, what are you going to do it for me? Because we are going to be registering you for the class. Ojas says that, sir, I'm not going to give you money. I'm not going to give you any other form of money. But I will do one thing. I will file your GST and income tax returns for you. 3 months GST return and the upcoming income tax return, I will file it for you. I will file the returns for you. Very well. I'm happy. Okay, Ojas, done. Please register. I will register Ojas immediately. And then comes Eva. Eva says that, sir, I'm not going to give you money. I'm not going to give you watch. I will not even do something for you. But I will not do something for you. Eva says that I will not do something for you. Ojas says I will do something for you. Eva says I will not do something for you. I also got confused. Then Eva explained. Eva said that, sir, I am planning to start CA final IDT English classes. So I got scared. I know Eva will teach very well. So I asked Eva that, Eva, listen, I will register you in my class, but instead please don't start classes. I don't want competition. In real life, we love competition. But for example, understand, I asked Eva that, Eva, please don't do teaching. Go into job. Don't come into CA final teaching. Already there is a lot of competition. You start your job. Don't do teaching. Non-compete. So Eva agreed to not do something. And Ojas agreed to do something. And Vamsi paid me money. And Gayatri paid me otherwise. Now tell me, out of the 4 cases, what is a part of consideration for me? What is a part of consideration for me? Are all the 4 cases consideration for my supply of teaching services? Or do you feel only 2 or 3 are consideration? 1, 2, 3, 4. Are all the cases of consideration? Absolutely correct. All 4 are consideration. All 4 are consideration. So Eva, do you agree not to teach? Eva, do you agree not to teach and instead I will register you in the class? Understand? Now second thing, as a supplier, do I care if payment for Vamsi is being done by Vamsi or any of his friends? Vamsi says that, sir, my UPI is not working. My friend will pay you. I don't care. I just have to ensure that money is coming into my account. So the consideration can be paid by recipient or by anyone else. I don't care. I need money, Vamsi. Let your friend pay or let anyone of your known pay. Let Gayatri give me the watch or let Gayatri's friend give me the watch. Let Ojas file the return or let Ojas ask his chartered accountant to file the return for me. I don't care. You are the recipient can do it for me or anyone else can do it for me. I absolutely don't care. Okay, Eva has agreed. Is this clear? The definition of consideration is done. Little more nuances we have to see. I will cover that. Section number 2, clause 31. Consideration in relation to supply. Very important. The term consideration will be only used in relation to the taxable event. If we are not talking about supply, there is no understanding of this term consideration. Consideration will not be analyzed in isolation. It is a part of the parameter of supply. So in relation to supply, what do you mean by consideration? Inclusive definition. Consideration means any payment made or to be made. Oh, so future payment. Yes, it is covered. Agreements are a supply. So payment can also be in future. Any payment made or to be made, whether in money or otherwise. Money or a watch in kind. It can be in kind. In respect of, in response to, or for inducement of supply of goods, services, or both, means it is for my supply of teaching service. It is in response to means it is a result of my teaching service that you are paying me. And who is paying? I don't care. Whether by recipient or by any other person. And third and fourth case, monetary value of any act. So the filing of returns, I will see what is the monetary value, that is the consideration. So let's say Eva charges 5,000 rupees for GST return. No, not Eva. Third one. Who was the third one? Ojas. Ojas charges 5,000 in the market. So that 5,000 will be the monetary value. So the monetary value of any act or forbearance by Eva. Forbearance in respect of, response of, or inducement. Inducement means to invoke it, to get it done. What get it done? Supply from my side. Again, who is doing or not doing something, whether by recipient or by any other person. Sir, then it is written, does not include any subsidy. This is yet to be analyzed. We will cover this in chapter number 6. Please leave it for now. So payment in money, payment otherwise, do something, not do something. Payment in money, otherwise, do something, not do something. By whom? I don't care. By whom? I don't care. Recipient or any other person. Sir, deposit, they have given a line which is purely common sense. Sometimes for rent agreements, I have to give a deposit, which is generally returnable. So it is not consideration. But if the owner, let's say the landlord or whatever to whom I have given the deposit, if that supplier applies the deposit as a consideration, it is a consideration. It's a common sense. So deposit given in respect of supply of goods, services or both shall not be considered as payment unless the supplier applies as a consideration. Means refundable is not a consideration, non-refundable is a consideration. Simple. If it is refundable, it is not a consideration. Obviously, this is a common sense. Sir, now there is a new definition in action. We don't know what is the meaning of recipient. Are you able to understand how we are flowing from one thing to another? We saw the definition of supply. 3 parameters. Good services, consideration, business. Good services we did. Consideration we did. Business we did. Now consideration is using a term recipient. Now it's our duty to understand what is the meaning of recipient. If I had covered all the definitions yesterday, somewhere you might have felt lost. Now you understand what are the implications. Why are we studying the definitions? Okay. So now what is the meaning of recipient? What is the meaning of recipient? Let's understand by logic. I am teaching. Ojas has to register. His UPI is not working. Ojas asked Logesh, his friend, that please pay it on my behalf. I am registering, my UPI is not working. So Logesh paid the amount for Ojas. My simple question to you is, who is the recipient of my teaching service? Is it Ojas or is it Logesh? Quickly answer me. Quickly answer this. Is it Ojas or is it Logesh? It is Ojas. Why did you say Ojas? Sir, simple logic. Why do we need to understand law for it? It is the person who is liable to pay the consideration. It is the person who is liable to pay the consideration. Because ultimately Ojas is going to repay Logesh. Right? So apply logic. This is the feel factor. So again, with respect to supply, with respect to any supply, the meaning of recipient, you don't have to learn where there is means and where there is includes. Absolutely no need. So wherever there is a consideration involved in the picture, it is the person who is liable. It is the person who is liable to pay that consideration. It is the person who is liable to pay that consideration. But sir, you had taught us about schedule number 1 now, where it is a supply without consideration. In that case, who is the recipient? Achha. So there is no consideration. Then we will see to whom the goods services are delivered. I am giving the teaching service to Ojas without consideration. Then Ojas will be the recipient. We will see to whom the goods services are given. So in case of goods, the person to whom the goods are delivered or made available, or to whom the possession or use is given or made available, means in simple terms, who is deriving the benefit of the goods. Services, to whom the service is rendered, who is getting the benefit of the services. As simple as that. And sir, it will also include an agent acting as such on behalf of the recipient. I am selling goods to, let's say, Mr. A. Mr. A is not in India right now. Mr. A says that please give it to my employee. His employee is his agent only. In simple words, he is acting on his behalf. So for me, his employee will also be a recipient. Ultimately, goods are going to that recipient only. So his agent is also considered as a recipient because he is a representative of the original recipient. Supplier definition we will see tomorrow. Right now not required. It will lead to a lot of confusion. Same example I have already given here for self-study students. So we have covered that. Now because we have seen the word agent, let's see what is agent. Let's see what is the meaning of agent. Sir, simple meaning, agent is a representative. He is a representative of the principal. So agent means a person including a factor, means a kind of a middleman, broker, commission agent, Artiya. Artiya is a Hindi name for an agent. Del Trader agent, I will be covering this topic mostly tomorrow. Del Trader agent, it is just like an agent. Auctioneer. I sell the goods in an exhibition through an auctioneer. So that auctioneer is working on my behalf to sell the goods. Or any other mercantile agent. These are separate names. The law itself says by whatever name called. Your business transaction can have any name, we don't care. The point is that he's carrying on the business of supply or receipt. He's supplying on my behalf, he's receiving on my behalf. Point is that it is the main condition that he is doing on behalf of another, and that another person is the principal. That another person is the principal. I hope this is clear. I hope this is absolutely clear. Quickly see this definition of recipient. Right now I'm giving you 30 seconds. See it. I'm waiting, pausing for 30 seconds. Review this definition. Done. Consideration is done. This is done. Can I proceed ahead? 7(1)(a) is clear. Parameters are clear. Now there are exceptions that we will be covering just for a reference. We know there is an exception of consideration, that is schedule number 1. And we know there is an exception of, we don't know this actually, we will be covering this today, that there is an exception for the business condition also, that I will be covering in a few minutes. But basic 3 parameters are clear. Then let's talk about 7(1)(a). Let's talk about 7(1)(a). Section, subsection, clause. Okay. 7, subsection 1, clause number AA. Let's take a small example. This is a Deccan Gymkhana, Pune. It's a club in Pune. And there are some members here. Okay. Now, there are a lot of facilities and services which are given by the club to the members, or it may be vice versa. Maybe tomorrow member is giving the services to a club. But primarily it is club giving a lot of services, like, for example, giving its space on rent, giving its space or hall on rent, or maybe giving some subsidized access to the services or sports or any service, food service. Sometimes it can be anything. A lot of times you must have clubs in your cities. They give subsidized services to the members. Sir, is this a business? Absolutely yes. We have covered that in the definition of business. It is a part of business. But now the question came that inherently in a supply, there should be at least two people, a supplier and recipient. I cannot supply it to myself, right? Can I say that I am teaching the IDT, I am giving the IDT teaching service to myself? No, I am teaching it to you. I am the supplier, means BB Virtuals is the supplier and you are the recipient. I cannot say that I am giving the service to myself, right? So there need to be two people in a transaction, supplier, recipient. Supplier is the giving service, recipient is the, just now we saw. In this transaction, there was a case law which took place. You just need to have a basic background. You don't need to learn the case law. State of West Bengal versus Calcutta Club Limited. The origin of the case law is the prior indirect tax, service tax related case law, but applied for the GST as well, in which basically Supreme Court stated that this cannot be a supply because members and club is one person itself. They gave this decision on the basis of a doctrine of mutuality. They gave this on the basis of doctrine of mutuality, that one person cannot transact with himself. And members are the club itself. The club is members itself. Club is not like a company with a separate body corporate kind of an existence. Club is not a separate person. That was what was ruled by the Supreme Court. Members together are club. So how can they transact with itself? And hence they said no GST. And whenever these kind of transactions, whenever these kind of case laws are passed by the apex court, it hurts the ego of our government. Government brought a amendment in the act. That's why you see this as AA. It was not originally a part of our CGST Act. Because whenever these kind of case laws are mentioned, it will hurt the ego of our government. Madam Ji got angry. Nirmala Tai got angry. Nirmala Tai said, how come can you say this? We will put a new, subsection 1 clause number AA. We will add as a clause number AA and we will specifically provide for these kind of transaction as a supply, regardless, notwithstanding any court, any judgment, anything that you have passed. Don't hurt the ego of the government. We will pass an amendment. 7.1 AA. So I can teach you 7.1 AA directly, but you need to understand the backdrop of why this amendment came. Read. The activities or transactions by a person. Which person other than individual, means they are primarily talking about clubs. Backdrop you need to know. To its members or constituents. Constituents means members, or vice versa, means members can give to the club. That is also supply. For cash, deferred payment or any other valuable consideration, this was not required to be mentioned. It is in any way, it is a parameter of supply. So, but okay, it's fine. They have mentioned it again. And this is the main point because of that case law. It is hereby clarified that notwithstanding anything contained in any other law for the time being in force, we don't care what any other law says, and we don't care what any judgment, decree or order of any court, tribunal or authority says. That person, the club other than individual, and its members or constituents shall be deemed to be two separate persons, because primarily supply requires a supplier and a recipient, and the supply between them shall be deemed to have taken place. Bring it under GST. Don't hurt the ego of government. Bring it under GST. Sir, but this was already defined in the business. Yes, it was defined in the business. But the argument took place that these are not two separate people. So we wanted to nullify that agreement. that particular case law. Hence, this was instituted in 7.1. Clear? Is it absolutely clear? Complete clarity? So 7.1a done, 7.1AA done, 1a, the three parameters of supply, and 7.1AA, the club related case law point. Very good. Now let's talk about 7.1b. Let's take a short example. Let's say I'm getting married. Sir, are you married? No. But let's assume I'm getting married. Okay. So it's my marriage time and I'm planning to hire a wedding organizer. Okay. I'm planning to hire an event planner. He has given me a quote of 1 lakh rupees. He's going to give me the service. He is in Pune. I'm also in Pune. So it's my marriage time. I hire an event planner. He's going to give me the service. I'm going to pay 1 lakh rupees. Will I be paying GST on that? Absolutely yes. Will government get its share of revenue? Absolutely yes. So sir, definition of supply, where we talk about business, it is from the point of view of supplier. Yes, it is from the point of view of supplier. That for me it is a personal purpose, but for the event planner it is a part of business. So he's going to charge GST. It is a part of his business. The GST will be applicable. I don't think you have any query here. I think this is a normal transaction. You can comprehend, right? You can understand. But what if I got too excited for my wedding? I got too excited for my wedding that, okay, finally I'm getting married. So let's go a little big. I will hire the event planner from outside India. There is a big event planner. There is a very big event management company from US. I hired them. Okay, let's spend some good amount of money. I will pay 2 lakh rupees instead of 1 lakh. Will that USA planner is going to be charging any GST of India? No. He's not even in India. He will not care about the GST taxes. He will say that you figure out what you have to do. He's going to give me the service. Now my first question to you is, everyone please pay attention. We do not know the technical definition of import of service. But apply your feel factor. Do you think this is an import of service? Yes or no? Technically we don't know. But do you feel this is kind of an import of service itself? Yes. It is an import of service. When it is an import of service, the business test will shift towards the recipient. That whether I am importing in the form of business or not. Is it in the form of business? Answer is no. No, Lingu, right now don't talk about RCM, FCM. See, structured thinking. Let's not talk about the RCM and FCM. Let's go step by step. Is it an import of service? Yes, sir. Here, the person in taxable territory is me. Am I importing this for business? Answer is no. This is an import of service, but it is for personal purposes. Government knows that this is not for my business. In such kind of transactions, had I taken the service from someone in India, it would have been a proper supply. In this case, it is not for my business purpose. It may fall outside the scope of supply because it is for my personal purposes. So government played smart. It inserted 7.1b and said that if it is an import of service for consideration, then business test becomes irrelevant. So it may be for my personal marriage purposes, it will still be a supply. Sir, will GST be applied or not? Yet to be commented. I will talk about this in chapter number 4. But in general, yes, what you guys are saying is absolutely correct. If there is any taxability in import of services, RCM applies, because obviously, sir, you cannot ask this person to pay GST in India. I will be asked to pay GST to outside India. But this services, actually the GST will be applied or not, time will tell. In chapter number 4, I will discuss. But primarily, if GST is applicable in import of services, reverse charge mechanism applies. RCM is applicable. But right now, let's focus on supply or not. Yes, it is a supply. 7(1)(b), import of services for consideration, whether or not in the course or furtherance of business. Because Mr. Had you taken these services from someone in India, for him it could have been a business test applicable and GST would have been applicable. Now, in your case, we don't care whether it is personal or non-personal. It will be a part of supply. Because right now we are talking about supply. So yes, it is a part of supply. So taxable event, tick. Taxable event, tick. It is a supply. Now the two exceptions are clear. Consideration exception, schedule number 1. Business test exception, 7(1)(b). 7(1)(c), 7(1)(a), 7(2) is nothing. They are just giving references of the schedule. That 7(1)(c), activities specified in schedule number 1 made or agreed to be made without a consideration, that we will be covering. 7(1)(a), subsection 1(a), whether it is a supply of goods or services, schedule 2 will tell us. And 7 subsection 2, negative list, schedule 3 will tell us. Plus there are some circulars notifications also. That is fine, that will be covering. Sir, so what all things we covered? Sir, 7(1)(a), the 3 parameters of supply: goods, services, consideration, and import, and business condition, business test. 3 particular parameters of supply we covered. Sir, section 7(1)(a), club. Case law, you will remember, you will technically, you can write person other than individual. Person other than individual to its members, or vice versa. For that, they will be deemed to be 2 separate people, and that is a supply. 7(1)(a). So we may not be able to learn that something is a separate explanation. It's fine. But the point you need to remember, that we are talking about a person other than individual, to its members, it is a deemed supply. Those people will be considered as 2 separate people, regardless of any law, regardless of any, or notwithstanding, you can use the word, notwithstanding any law, notwithstanding any judgment, notwithstanding any order. And once you scribble these things in the at home while revising, you will not forget this till your exam. That input I require from your side. So this is 7(1)(a), 7(1)(a), 7(1)(b), import of services for consideration. Consideration is there, but business test is irrelevant. 7(1)(c), it just gives reference to schedule number 1. 7(1)(a) just gives reference to schedule number 2, and 7(2) just gives reference to schedule number 3, nothing else. How come we will not remember? We will remember each and everything once you start studying like this. Once we have that attitude like this. So you will also revise just like I covered right now. I hope this is absolutely done. 7(1), clear? Anything you want to ask? Can I proceed? Can I proceed to schedule number 1? I will proceed to schedule number 1 now. I will give you a brief reference of paragraph number 1, then we will take a short break, don't worry. Okay? Schedule number 1. Very clear, very good. See, whenever you like some concept, write it like, yes sir, very clear. So that I also understand, because I'm not able to see your faces. Okay? So you can improvise your comments. Whenever you feel, okay sir, this was very fun, write it like that. Okay? Let's see. Schedule number 1. Deemed supply. That is supply without consideration. 4 paragraphs we are going to be covering. A small feel factor example we saw yesterday, where I was giving the teaching service to my wife. Because of the relationship, without consideration also, the GST was demanded from me. It was considered to be a supply. So there are going to be 4 paragraphs. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 paragraphs we are going to be covering. We'll start with the first paragraph. Apply logic. I bought an asset. Which type of an asset? Any kind of an asset. Current asset, non-current asset. It's a business asset. I took the ITC. Why the government granted me the ITC on the asset? Because I'm using it for my business. And suppose I disposed of that asset. I permanently gave that asset to Harshini. Let's say this mic I purchased for using in the teaching service, and in my GST I availed the input tax credit. Harshini said that, sir, your voice is very nice, very, very clear and very audible in this particular mic. Can you tell me which mic this is? Instead I said, Harshini, take this mic. I'm gifting it to you. Kind of I'm disposing it off to you. Take it away. Who will be angry seeing this? Nirmala Tai. She says that I gave you the ITC because you were going to be using this as a part of your business. So it doesn't matter whether I'm selling the asset as it is, whether I'm selling the mic or not, but it was a part of my business, right? You can take the other example also. Let's say I'm a dealer of machine. I'm the dealer of the mic. And I bought a mic, I was supposed to sell it and I was supposed to utilize the credit to against the output tax. Instead of that, I gave away to Harshini, or let's say there was my friend, he came to visit me, I gave away the mic to him that, okay, take it, use it. Free from my side. So Nirmala Tai says that we gave you the ITC because you were going to use it for your business now. So why are you disposing it off without consideration? Deemed supply. If I charge consideration, well and fine. Then schedule 1 will not be talked about. Schedule 1 you will be analyzing only when there is no consideration. Structured thinking. No consideration, you move to schedule number 1. Logic is clear. See the paragraph number 1. Permanent transfer means if I say to Harshini that, Harshini, you take away the mic, but you give me tomorrow. Before the class, you ensure that you are bringing it back to me. That is not a permanent disposal, permanent transfer. But if it is a permanent transfer, permanent disposal, these are the forms of supply itself. So if you're doing it on a permanent manner of your business asset, main condition is where the ITC has been availed. Because this is where the problem of government lies, that we have given you the credit. So you were supposed to use it in your business. Sir, if no consideration and no ITC, schedule 1 para 1 not applicable. Sir, I'm transferring it to whom? Irrelevant. The question may try to confuse you that a holding company has transferred the asset to its subsidiary company. Holding company has transferred the asset to subsidiary company. I don't care. If ITC was taken and permanently transferred, it is a deemed supply. And what is the technical definition of business asset? We are not defining it. It can be a current asset, it can be input, it can be capital asset, whatsoever, I don't care. Clear? This is paragraph number 1. Done. Out of 4 paragraphs, 1 is done. Now let's come to paragraph number 2. Para 1 is clear. It is talked about the business assets. Paragraph number 2, it is talking about a relationship between the people. Now this relationship can be two-way. Either it is a related person or is it a distinct person. We will understand the definitions now, don't worry. First, let's talk about related person, paragraph number 2. Let's first talk about related person. Then we will talk about distinct person. Let's understand what is the meaning of related person. Now, related person has been defined in section number 15 that deals with the chapter of valuation. Sir, why defined in section number 15? Because valuation uses a condition of related person, so they have defined it there. Okay. I have put it in the chapter number 1 itself because we have to use the definition of related person here as well. So related person means there is a relationship which is involved. 6-7 clauses are covered. No need to learn it by heart. Small nuances are there that we will focus upon. I will be putting out the MCQs as well in the Telegram group when we will start with the MCQs. Solve that. That is more than what is required for the exam. Let's first understand it. So persons, including legal persons, means a company, LLP, artificial persons, incorporated bodies, those can also be a related person here, and individual natural persons can be also be a person here. Pay attention. The person shall be deemed to be related person if any of the clauses apply. First, such persons are officers or directors of one another's business. My company S Limited, your company A Limited. I am a director in your company, you are a director in my company, we both are related person. Now, what is the problem here? See, our GST law is not focusing much on defining these kind of things, just like a Companies Act does. We are more focused upon substance over form in these kind of situations. Hence, you will find that this particular term of one another's business is also not a technically defined term. General meaning you have to understand. So let's say I have incorporated a company A Limited. I may be a director in A Limited also. Let's take my example S Limited. And in S Limited, you are a director as well. And in another company which you have incorporated, where you might be a director or an equity owner, I don't care. It is your business basically. There I am a director. Sir, what if it is not a company? Maybe normal officer. Officer means an employee, general employee. So we may be colleagues in two companies. This general understanding that my business means maybe I have incorporated that business. I'm a promoter of that business. But you are a director or an employee here, and similarly in your company or your organization, I am working there. So we both are related persons because somewhere or other we are working in each other organizations. Second, such persons are legally recognized partners in the business. Sir, legally recognized partners means there is a partnership firm. Example, there is a partnership firm in which me and Harshini are partners. We are legally recognized partners. But when I say business, it is not necessarily a firm. The partners in a business may be a partnership firm. It may be a JV also. JV is also a business where there are JV partners. So two companies can also be partners. Here two companies can also be a partner in a JV, joint venture agreement. Such persons are employer and employee. I am working in PwC. PwC and me are related person. PwC and me are related person. Next 2-3 you have to pay attention. Any person directly or indirectly. Directly means direct ownership. Indirectly means through a subsidiary or through some business entity in between. So I may be holding the shares directly. I may be having a investment company and that is holding the shares. How much? Owning, controlling or holding means, okay, ownership is there of minimum 25% or more of outstanding voting stock shares of both of them. A, it may be a company, it can be a person, but B and C would obviously be organizations, not individual persons. Individual does not have equity ownership. Means individual doesn't have an equity in which someone owns. So pay attention. A is holding 26% in B, and let's say A is also holding 30% in C. So B and C are related to each other. These both of them means B and C are related to each other, not A and B and not A and C. And sir, minimum 25%, minimum 25%. And which stock? Voting stock. Sometimes it is a non-voting stock without voting power. Don't cover that. We need to have voting power that influences the company. And why 25%? See, 20% I think is mentioned in your Ind AS as well as the Companies Act. Significant influence is also considered by 20%. So our GST law considers 25% as the benchmark, which basically says that okay, if you are holding 25%, it is not a passive investment, it's an active investment. You will be influencing the person. Also, somewhere the link is with the special majority in Companies Act. SR is passed by 75%, right? So here 25 or more, you can block an SR. Just a feel factor I'm giving behind 25%. So one person is having 25% or more voting stock in two companies. This person can be anyone, legal person or an individual person. We are analyzing much more than required. Whatever ICI asks, we should be able to handle. No need to rectify this. Understanding is should be clear that you are able to apply it in the exam. Okay. So don't worry. Right now, understand. Next, one of them directly or indirectly controls the other. So if we are talking about only two people, we have to see one should be controlling the other. So what is control? Not defined in law. Not defined in law. Example, it can be deciding the role in corporate policy. Example can be having a say in the composition of board of directors. Sir, can control come by voting as well? Yes, but for that, in general understanding, it should be more than 50%. But not defined. Similarly, both of them are directly or indirectly controlled by third person, or together they control a third person. So basically, let's say A is controlling B and C, or B and C are controlling A. So I am saying that related person here are B and C, B and C. But sir, what is the difference between this and this? Here I am using the word control, which is not defined. One of the possible ways of control can be voting, but that will require 50%. But if you apply this clause here, even 25% is going to work. So if you see minimum 25% voting is coming here, directly this clause will apply. But I'm saying that control word is much wider. I may not have voting power, but I may have a role in deciding the corporate policy, then this clause will apply. For this, we are specifically focused on voting power. I hope this is clear. Or similarly, B and C are together controlling A. Leave this for one moment. Last, persons who are associated in the business of one another, in that one is the sole agent, sole distributor, or sole concessionaire of the other. Meaning which, in my entire business, I have only one person as the agent, that is Gayatri. Gayatri and me are related persons to each other. I have 5 agents: Gayatri, Prajit, Harshini, Lingu, and Eva. I have 5 agents, not a related person. Normal agent, they will act. They are normal agent, not a related person. Sole agent, single agent, sole distributor, sole concessionaire means the selling agent kind of a thing. You're alone acting in my business. We are related to each other. I'm giving you 30 seconds. I want you to review these all clauses and confirm me. I'm showing you the screen. Some people may not have books, so I'm showing you the screen. And please, recorded students, whenever I'm giving some time, I will be giving such time gaps when I feel that okay, you need to review the concept or solve a question. Utilize it. Don't forward the video. One student had messaged in the last batch in Hindi that sir, you are giving pauses in between. My flow is breaking. You have to solve the question in that pause. The pause is not for you to enjoy. You have to solve the question or review the concept that I'm giving, where I know the concept can become heavy at home. Review it, absorb it, do it. Okay, Ojas. In point number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Any person A is holding minimum 25% voting stock. So there are shares with voting power, there may be shares without voting power. So minimum 25% voting stock of both of them means there are two other companies who are becoming related because one person, one common person is holding at least 25% in both of them. Outstanding means which is issued. It is not a cancelled stock. It is still in the market, it is issued. Everyone else, please confirm, is it clear? Point at 6 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 6 and 7 is Lingu. 1 is controlling 2 or 2 together are controlling 1. But the word we are using is control, which is not defined in the law. Can it be through voting power? Yes. Can it be through deciding role in corporate policy? Yes. Can it be through deciding the composition of board of directors? Yes. Can it be to decide how the business is going to affect, take place in day-to-day manner? Yes. It is a question of fact. But this particular clause, both of them directly or indirectly controlled by third person. If we talk about the voting power as a part of control, so here actually in such situation, even if it is 25% in both, before this clause, fourth point will apply itself. But understand, control is wide word. Voting power can be one of the manner of control. Other manner are also possible. You may have the query that, sir, this and fourth point are exactly the same. No. Voting power is one of the manner of control. It can be other ways of control as well, just like I have given this example. Is it clear, Lingu? Sona, Harshini, got it? Okay. Now, last clause, then I will give you a break. That, sir, the main point you did not cover. Family, my spouse, the example that we took. So what is a part of family? Very simple definition. Very simple. Family is defined separately, but let's try to construct it. So me and my wife, that is spouse, plus our children, chutku putku, our children. This is always my family. My spouse and my children will always be my family. Plus, what about my parents? My parents, my grandparents, and my brother, sister. They will be a part of the family. They will be a part of my family only if wholly mainly dependent on me. Only if wholly or mainly dependent on me. Now, what is the meaning of dependent? Means whole and soul. Their expenses I am bearing, I am taking their care of all the things. Again, not defined, but it's a general understanding that they are entirely dependent on me. Now, ICI is very smart. They will not state this directly. They will state that, for example, your brother is a well-known consultant. So obviously he is not dependent on you. So obviously he is not a related person. He is not a part of your family, not a related person. Sir, what about the parents, grandparents of my spouse? We consider them as a part of family in India in general manner, but in GST, no. GST, no. Father-in-law, mother-in-law, not a part of your family. Clear? This has been defined as well. This has been defined as well. Family means spouse and children, dependent or not. My wife may be earning very well. My children may be working very well, earning more than me. I don't care. They are always a part of my family. And parents, grandparents, brother and sister. So how do we learn? Spouse and children. Parents, grandparents, brother, sister. Parents, grandparents, brother, sister. If they are wholly and mainly dependent on me. Not of my spouse. My parents, grandparents and brother, sister. If wholly or mainly dependent on me. But father-in-law, not a family. And question may say that brother has a own factory. Your sister is a well-known consultant. That means they are not dependent on you. They are earning themselves properly. So family is a part of a related person. And what is the implication? That any transaction between a related person without consideration is a supply. What about step? See, GST law does not go into that much detail. In general understanding, we can consider step brother, step children, everything as a part of my family. The morning batch, Hindi batch students, they are a little more naughty. So they ask that, sir, what if a person has married thrice? It's fine now, three spouses. So technically, we will see that, okay, legally, who is your spouse right now? Your third marriage, third wife, she'll be a part of your family. Children from the earlier wife, part of the family. Legally, if your earlier wife is divorced, obviously then she's not your spouse today. So that much detail the GST law does not go, but we can apply the logic on that. That step will be also included, provided you have there is a proper legal relationship formed. Clear? No, I see. I won't test that. Don't worry. So implication is any transaction. Implication is any supply of goods services between related person. This I will explain after break. Between related persons when made in the course or furtherance of business. So don't forget the business condition. Business is still there. It is a part of my teaching business where I am giving the service to my wife. But let's say I am an employee, I am not doing any form of business, and one day I just take a small lecture on GST for my wife, not business. So it should be a part of your business. Basically, the logic is clear from the side of government that you are doing business, and just because of the relationship you did not charge the consideration where we are losing the revenue, make it a deemed supply under schedule number 1, paragraph number 2. Absolutely clear, guys. Understanding it, there is a satisfaction that comes with the understanding. Are you getting it? Okay, so can I take a short break now? I will explain distinct persons after the break. Then we will cover paragraph number 3. We will cover 2-3 questions that we will do. For your class, I will be making one recording only. Okay, morning class, sometimes it goes a little long. They discuss a lot of things here and there. So I break into 2 parts. But today, let's try that we will make one class only. Students who are watching in the recorded mode, you can take a 5-minute break on your own by pausing the lecture. I'm making it in a one recording only. So it's a hassle-free, clear lectures are visible on your application. Okay, guys, take a break. Songs we will sometimes run in the class. We don't do that a lot. Sometimes we will run the songs, but after the 2-3 days, because these 3 classes are going to go on YouTube. Okay? Yes. Yes, so recording has been resumed. Watched RCB versus IPL fans. I don't watch a lot of IPL. Okay, Anjali, Archana, Logesh. Okay, let's start, guys. Now the next part we need to cover is what is the meaning of distinct person. What is the meaning of distinct person? Before seeing the formal definition, we will be seeing the feel factor. Let's try to understand by a small example. What is this? This is Billu Kachori. What is Billu Kachori, sir? Kachori, you know, right? It's a snack. Kachori, you must be knowing, yaar. Kachori is a snack, right? So, onion kachori, you must have heard. So, he is the owner of Billu Kachori, which is a business. And this Mr. has 3 outlets. One in Mumbai, yes, one in Mumbai, one in Pune, and one in Kerala. Now, before talking about the registration, I have to give you certain basics of the chapter number 8, which deal with the registration issues. Because we have not covered the chapter formally, I have to tell you certain basics that any GST registration, this is for your knowledge, that any GST registration in our country, it is PAN based, means you require PAN, and you require a state-wise registration, meaning which that if I am operating in Delhi and Maharashtra, the registration will be separate. In Delhi it will be separate, in Maharashtra it will be separate, for but obvious reason that the state government is separate. For the but obvious reason that the state government is separate. So I need a state-wise registration. But what if I have 2 units in one state? What if I have 2 units in one state? Now here I have 2 options. Your option number 1 and you have an option number 2 with respect to registration. Either you can go for a single registration, or you can go for separate registration. That in one state you can go for multiple registrations as well. This is purely your business call, how you need to operate it. If we go for a single registration, then your one address will be known as PPOB, that is principal place of business, and your other address will be known as additional place of business. If I have 5 units, one will be PPOB, other 4 will be additional place of business. As simple as that. So in this context, I am telling you, in Maharashtra, I have taken separate registration. So this has a separate GSTIN. GSTIN is the GST number basically. This has a separate GSTIN and this has a separate GSTIN. Like in Maharashtra, it starts with 27 state code. We will see how a GSTIN looks like. We will see how a certificate looks like. Kerala, I will have to see what is the state code, but okay, whatever it is, a separate GSTIN is obtained. Now, I don't know what the technical definition of the distinct person is, but I know what the logic says. I'm asking you a question. Will these 3 GSTINs be considered as a distinct persons in the eyes of GST department? Or will these be considered as a one person? PAN is same, but the GSTIN is separate. If I see there are 3 separate GSTINs filing individual returns, having their own addresses, so will they be considered as a distinct person? Answer is yes. They are distinct persons. They are distinct persons. Where is it written? That I will cover formally in a couple of minutes. Section number 25, subsection 4. So what is this section 25? Chapter of registration. But I have to use it here, so we have to understand it here itself. So 25.4 is distinct person, that you are registered separately. In one state, in more than one state, I don't care. Here 2 units are in one state, third unit is in completely different state, I don't care. Is this clear? Now, what if What if in another scenario, this is my scenario number 1, my another example is, let's say I have this Billu Kachori has a unit in Mumbai which is registered, and there is another unit in UP which deals in alcoholic liquor for human consumption. It is just dealing in alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Hence, it is not registered. Sir, we didn't get this. There is a section in the chapter of registration which says basically that registration will be only when you are dealing in a taxable supply. This is a non-taxable item. Why will I take the GST? What will I do with that GST? I am not dealing in the GST taxable supply. This is a non-taxable item, hence I am unregistered. So it is possible that one business, one unit is registered, another business, same business, another unit is not registered. These units will not be termed as distinct persons under 25(4) because this is not separately registered, but instead they will be termed as a little change in the terminology. They will be termed as establishment of distinct person. Kind of the same meaning. Because this is not separately holding a GST, we are not calling it as a distinct person of the under 25(4). Instead, we are little changing it, establishment of distinct person. So these are establishment of two different people. Overall 25(4), 25(5) both are covered in paragraph number 2. It's just about using the term. So establishment of distinct person. And this is 25 subsection 5. If you carefully see in 25(4), it can be one state, it can be more than one state. I don't care because you are registered. But here it has to be more than one state. The other unit has to be in other state. Sir, what if it is in same state? Then it is not 25(5). 25(5), it has to be in another state. If there are two units in one state, one has to be PPOB, one has to be APOB. So this technically has to be in other state where it is unregistered. Sir, what if it is registered? Let's say it deals with alcoholic liquor for human consumption plus certain other items. Let's say some stationery. Not stationery because this is into hospitality. Let's say some other food item. Then it is 25(4). If both are registered, 25(4). Let's see formally 25(4), 25(5). Then I will show you the example again. This is tested extensively in MCQs. So pay attention. Paragraph number 2, sorry. This is your distinct person, and see the definition 25(4) and 25(5). A person who has obtained or who is required to obtain more than one registration. So maybe I have established a business in some other state. I am yet to take the registration, but I am required to take more than one registration. Today or tomorrow, you will have to be getting another registration. That liability has come up. So the point is more than one registration. Now, one state or more than one state, I don't care. Whether in one state or UT or more than one state or UT, we don't care. They shall in respect of each such registration be treated as distinct persons for this act. Every GST will be considered as a distinct person. Every GST is a separate person. Because in the eyes of law, you have a separate identity. So every GST is a separate person. (25)(5), where a person who is obtained or is required to obtain a registration, it's a single registration in a state, and you have an establishment in other state, more than one state involved, then such establishment are establishment of distinct person. Little terminology has changed. See, a registered head office in Delhi, registered branch office in Mumbai. Both are registered, 25.4. Registered hotel in Delhi, unregistered liquor shop in Mumbai. Another state. Establishment of distinct person, 25.5. And now a small example I will ask. A small example. A question for you. Let's say there is a showroom in Noida, UP. And there is a factory in Lucknow, UP. And suppose these are under a single UP registration. I'm saying that these are under a single GSTIN of UP registration. A simple question to you. Will 25.4 apply, or will 25 subsection 5 will apply, or neither of the above will apply? Or neither of the above will apply. Do you think 25.4 or 25.5 will apply? No, it is not a case of distinct person. You did not take separate registration, hence 25.4 is not applicable. Also, it is a case of one state itself, not more than one state. It is a one state itself. So 25.5 will also not apply here. Is it clear? So this is 25.4 also not applicable. 25.5 is also not applicable. I have mentioned this here as well. Factory in Lucknow, showroom in Kanpur, both are in UP, single registration. None of them applies. Paragraph number 2 will not be applicable. Very good. Correct. One will be PPOB, one will be APOB. Absolutely correct, Eva. Now proceeding to next, let's consider a situation. No Ojas. Ojas in same state, if one is registered and another is unregistered, it is not possible. Another will be in the same registration as additional place of business. So why 25.4 will apply? You are talking about the same case. One will be PPOB Ojas, another will be APOB, na? It is, other is not separately registered means it will be declared as an additional place of business. You have to declare in your registration. If I'm operating in Maharashtra, I have to state in what all addresses I have in Maharashtra. So the other one will be APOB. And PPOB, APOB are not distinct persons. Tested extensively in your case booklet ICA MCQs. Ojas, is it clear? Ojas, is it clear? Everyone, can I proceed? Not treated. It is APOB Ojas. In one state, more than one address mandatorily will be APOB. You have to declare one as PPOB. Okay. Now a situation. There is EY. And here is me. I am an employee. Chartered accountant Siddhu. I am an employee. Suppose in the upcoming Diwali season, my employer gives me a Samsung phone worth rupees 30,000. Diwali gift. Complete year they make me work like hell, and a small 30,000 gift they give me on Diwali. Diwali bonus, in the name of Diwali bonus. Now let's slowly get into the habit of structured thinking. Is this a supply? Let's see. Are two people involved? This is also inherently a parameter only. The fourth parameter you can inherently understand in section number 7 is two people. So yes, supplier and recipient are there. The main three parameters, Is there a goods involved? Yes. Is it a part of business? Yes. For the company is doing business. In that business, they give gifts to employees. Very much a part of business. Very wide coverage business anyways. Third, is there any consideration involved? Yes, sir. Consideration is there. I am working for the company. No, 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 no. Against my work, I am getting paid salary. This is over and above the salary. Gifts are over and above the salary. Salary and perquisites are separate. Gifts are not decided. They depend upon the company profits and everything. Occasion. So, is there any consideration involved against the phone? Is there any consideration involved against the phone? Am I paying anything to get this phone? Answer is no. My hard work, my employment, for that I'm getting salary, but for phone I'm not doing anything. So, sir, structured thinking. As soon as consideration is missing, your mind should proceed. Your mind should proceed towards schedule number 1. I'm telling you, the company has not taken ITC here. So forget about schedule number 1, paragraph number 1. No ITC has been taken. Forget paragraph number 1. Think about paragraph number 2. Is paragraph number 2 applicable? Absolutely yes, because employer and employee are related persons. So paragraph number 2 will apply. Paragraph number 2 will apply schedule number 1. But now comes the legal analysis along with the substantial part. We requested Nirmala Tai that Tai, in India, employers give a lot of gifts to employees. Every company gives a gift to its employees. And if every form of a gift you will tax under paragraph number 2, schedule number 1, it will create a problem for the company. It will be considered as the company has supplied a goods on which the GST should be paid. Although there is no consideration, but then it will be assumed that the GST is applicable on 30,000. That will lead to a lot of problems. So Nirmala Tai says, okay, understood. Let's give you a benefit. We will give you a limit. We will give you a limit here of rupees 50,000 with respect to gifts to employees per financial year per employee. Per financial year per employee. If your gift crosses 50,000, let's say instead of Samsung phone, I am gifted. Let's say I am not a mere chartered accountant, I am a CFO. I am gifted by the company iPhone 17 Pro Max costing 1,60,000. Then 1,60,000 will go under GST complete amount. Up to 50,000 gifts not taxed. Exceeding 50,000 entire amount will be taxed. Pay attention here. Pay attention here. Exception. Proviso. The gifts not exceeding 50,000 in value in one financial year by employer to an employee. So one employee shall not be treated as a supply of goods and services or both. Why would they have been treated as a supply? Because without consideration, the employee, they would have caught up here. They would have been caught in this particular point. Hence, it was necessary to give a separate proviso to create an exception. Are you able to understand this? Sir, but then what about salary and perquisites? Is that I have already given you the reference yesterday. The gifts are over and above the salary and perquisites. Salary and perquisites. They are going to be very well covered by schedule number 3. Paragraph number 1. Negative list. Not a supply. Because then that will create a lot of problem. Every employment contract will undergo GST. That will create a lot of problem. Hence that is under non-supply. But this gift is over and above the salary and perquisites. So yes, absolutely, it could have been a deemed supply, but we will give the benefit of 50,000. Clear? Para 1 and para 2 is done. I will just do paragraph number 3 today because I know today is your first day when you're absorbing a lot of concepts. I don't want to unnecessarily stretch. Para 3 I will cover, para 4 I will just give you a brief and we will end it for the day. Don't worry. Morning class also I have kept it only till this point because this is the first day you're absorbing a lot of things. We will cover a couple of questions then we will leave. Let's talk about paragraph number 3. Para number 3 is with respect to the relationship between principal and agent. Sir, will agent include a sole agent also? No need. Because sole agent, before coming to para 3, para 2 will only cover it. Sole agent is a related person, right? So no need to go till para 3. Para 2 itself will cover the sole agent in its case. So let's talk about the normal agent who are not sole agents. So what is the question we are answering here? Please pay attention. Here there is a principal. Here there is an agent P, A, and customer, final customer C. Now this we are talking only and only with respect to goods, not services. Sir, why not services? Because services are of intangible nature. Generally what happens is, let's talk about it later. First, let's understand what is the concept. You will automatically understand why this para is not applicable for services. Okay. Simple case. I'm selling certain goods through an agent. So basically, the law is asking, the evaluation is happening in the context that whether this particular transaction needs to be put under the deemed supply or not. Whether the transaction between P to A needs to be put under the deemed supply or not. He's a normal agent, not a sole agent. If it would have been a sole agent, I don't need to analyze para 3. Para 2 would have covered the situation. So this transaction, is it a deemed supply or not? Here we are going to be applying a test which is known as invoice test. What is the test? Invoice test. And what does this test say? Pay attention. This is the further supply that is happening. We will first apply the logic. Forget the invoice test and the technical nuances. Just understand the logic. These goods will be ultimately sold to the customer by my agent. A simple question I need to check is, when such goods will be sold, there are two possible cases with respect to the invoice that is issued. For the particular sale to the customer, in case number A, this is the tax invoice. This is case number B. Suppose in case number A, I say that the invoice is issued in the name of agent to customer. Agent to customer. And in case number B, I say that invoice is issued in the name of principal to customer. Agent is only facilitating the transaction here. The invoice is issued in the name of principal. The payment is going to the principal. Invoice is directly by the principal's name. Now let's apply the logic. In which case, case number A or case number B, in which case do you feel that this transaction should be a supply without consideration? Or legally we can say that in which case you in which case do you feel that this case will fall under the ambit of paragraph number 3, schedule number 1. This is the technical words that we use in the question. In case number A or in case number B. Forget the law, apply your logic. Prajit says case number A. Okay. Other people, case number A or case number B? Case number A. Anyone else? Case number A or case number B? Again, case number A. I think every one of you is saying case number A. Each and every one of you is saying case number A, which is absolutely correct. Do we need any law to make us understand this? No, sir. This is so intuitive that you have answered it correctly, that this invoice test, this deemed supply will be only in case number A. Now let's understand the logic behind it. When the invoice is issued in the name of agent, means in the eyes of law, the supply is between A to C. But ultimately the seller is principal. We need to invoke the GST liability of principal. We need to invoke the supply from principal. Hence make this a supply without consideration. So ultimately for agent there will be a GST liability. And here principal will have the GST liability, of which he will take the ITC. So net impact will be nil for the agent, and ultimately principal will pay the GST and customer will bear the GST. If it was issued directly in the name of the principal, then there is no hassle. The agent is not involved in the documentation. The direct supply is by the principal to customer. Hence it is sorted. This is known as invoice test. So intuitive, so logical. Just see. Paragraph number 3 analysis involves an invoice test. He is the principal, he is the agent, and he is the customer. The only question which we need to understand for deciding the paragraph number 3 applicability is the invoice for further supply, that is this one, is issued in the name of agent or the principal. If it is issued in the name of the principal, it means this is a supply. Why to make this a supply again? If we make this a supply again, it will generate 2 GST liability for the principal, which will be difficult, which will be wrong. So if it is issued in the name of principal, means the invoice test has failed. So the supply is directly by the principal to the consumer. Hence this is not a supply under ambit of paragraph number 3, schedule number 1. But on the other hand, if it is issued in the agent's name, this particular supply is invoked, then this will also be a supply. Now someone may have a query who has studied or practically worked in GST, that sir, what if this agent is unregistered? I will cover that in chapter number 8. Give me some time. A lot of interlinking right now you won't be able to absorb. Right now understand this invoice test. I will repeat in chapter number 8. We will make this person liable for registration. Don't worry. Invoice test is absolutely clear, guys. Para 4 I'm not covering right now. It talks about import of services. Or maybe I will cover. Let's see how much time we get after doing the questions. So let's read the paragraph number 3 first. Supply of goods, not services. Sir, why not services? See, services are of intangible nature now. Services is not something that I will be giving my agent that take these services and sell it further. So generally in case of services, agent won't be storing the services and selling it further. So generally in the services manner, the invoice will be issued in my name only. And I will be paying the agent a commission. See, if you want to theoretically study, if you want to theoretically bifurcate goods versus services, you can write that for services, paragraph number 3 is not applicable. Hence, consideration is always required. Consideration is always required to make it a supply, because para 3 is not applicable. I'm not talking about the normal sole agent. I'm not talking about the normal agent. Are you able to get this? Theoretically, you can state that para 3 here is not applicable. Hence, consideration is always required. But logic will also apply, no? Is it possible that I give my teaching services to my agent, let's say Sparisha, and the agent is giving the services further? No. Intangible nature, intangible service, how can you give someone and he or she can sell it further? So obviously, in case of intangible services, invoice test will never be passed. My agent will just connect me and my customer, and the invoice will be issued in my name. Theoretical purpose, study purpose, you can write that, okay, since it is not applicable for services, you always require consideration because para 3 is not going to apply. Clear? Right? So principal to agent or agent to principal. So agent can be supplying on my behalf or he can be receiving it on my behalf. Principal to agent or agent to principal. So I am supplying to agent and agent is supplying further, or agent is receiving from someone and he is giving it back to me. Any which way is possible. The point is invoice test. You have to check in whose name the invoice is issued, be it a supply invoice, be it a receipt invoice. Now in the market, in the question, sometimes students learn the name of the agent. That sir, consignment agent is there, commission agent is there. So sir, in the case of commission agent, it will always be the case that invoice test is failing. And in consignment agent, what happens is the consignment is sent to the agent and invoice test is passed because the consignment agent issues the invoice in his own name. Don't learn it. Our ICM material nowhere provides the consignment agent versus commission agent. In general, you may have an understanding that, okay, commission agents work on only the commission basis and consignment agents buy the goods and sell it further. So there mostly the invoice test will be passed. But see in the question, see what the question is providing us with. Don't learn directly by the name of agent. Material nowhere provides it. Now quickly we will do two questions. With respect to the questions, please understand IDT presentation is a very big myth. Some nuances need to be taken care of in ITC questions that I will be covering. But other than that, just focus on conclusions and analysis. RCM, FCM, valid, invalid, liability amounts, that is what you need to focus upon. Presentation is a very small point in IDT. And I will tell you that when we will go for the module 1 test, please do not worry. Right now, focus on analysis, whether you are able to reach the conclusions correctly, whether you are able to understand the question correctly. Read question number 1. Sudama Associates, a registered supplier, disposes the computers owned by the business without consideration and it has not claimed the input tax credit on such computer. Examine whether the disposal of computer qualifies as a deemed supply under schedule number 1. Structured thinking. Disposal is happening, no consideration. Okay, sir. So no consideration. Schedule number 1. Paragraph number 1, is it applicable? They have mentioned that no ITC has been taken. Is disposal happening to any related person? No. So paragraph number 2 is also not applicable. Para 3, agent, not applicable. Para 4 is an import of service, not applicable. So ultimately, this would have been a deemed supply only and only if input tax credit would have been availed, but it is not the case. Hence, conclusion, not a supply. Always learn one point, one liner conclusion needs to be there in your answers. So no, not a supply because ITC is not availed. Question number 3, do it right now. I'm not changing the screen. Question number 3, you do it right now. I hope you're able to read it. Question number 3, tell me, is it a supply or not? This is the last thing for today. Is it a supply? Structured thinking, do it. Moksha Bhumi has a manufacturing unit in Maharashtra. It stores the finished product at a depot located in Gujarat. Depot is owned by Punya Bhumi, a related person. Related person. Related person. Punya Bhumi has not charged consideration. No consideration parameter missing. Exception schedule number 1. 7(1)(c) read with schedule number 1. 7(1)(c) read with schedule number 1, paragraph number 2, related person. It is a deemed supply. That's it. So these are easy questions. No, slowly we will do all the questions like this. Just get into the habit. If you are not able to remember this, it's fine. You can just mention schedule number 1 CGST. So it is a supply without consideration. We'll just give you a small brief of paragraph number 4 and I will be done for the day because I don't want to burden you. I know it's a lot to absorb, lot to revise as well. Paragraph number 4 talks about the import of services. But sir, we have already covered import of services. No. We have covered import of services when the consideration was involved in 7(1)(b where the business test was irrelevant. But here when we are talking this in the context of schedule number 1, it means there is no consideration. It means there is no consideration. So when there is no consideration, 7(1)(b will not apply. Instead, paragraph number 4 will apply schedule number 1, which says that it will be a deemed supply if two conditions are satisfied. Condition number 1 is you are importing from whom? It should be your own person, means your own related person or your own establishment outside India. So for example, BB Virtuals has an office in Mumbai. We have a branch in Singapore as well, let's say. And if we are importing any service, let's say some software service we are importing, yes, the condition number 1 will be satisfied, and condition number 2, it should be for the purpose of business. It should be for the purpose of business. Personal purpose not covered here. Consideration is also not there. It's a personal purpose. Leave it. We don't want it to be a supply. If you're paying it, if you're paying the consideration, means you're undertaking a commercial transaction, not for free. Personal or business, 7(1)(b, it is a supply. So both interlinked together. Limited understanding I will give you. Tomorrow I might repeat this. For consideration, you're doing import of service. If consideration is there, structured thinking, schedule 1 will stop in your mind. Schedule 1 should not run in your mind. Go for 7(1)(b. Business test is irrelevant. It is a supply. Further point, right now you won't understand. It is a supply. But if there is no consideration, okay, 7(1)(b out of your mind, schedule number 1, paragraph number 4, two conditions. First, you are importing from whom? Related person or own establishment. Second condition, in the course or furtherance of business. Both are satisfied. It is a supply due to paragraph number 4, schedule number 1. Other cases not a supply. Small homework. Read this small box of examples. Now additionally what I'm doing is I'm creating a Google Excel sheet. I will embed that link again in your about section where you have the Google Drive of the notes. I will embed the Excel Google sheet as well. There I will be writing the day to day, our day and the lecture that we are running, basically the lecture we are conducting, and the topic and the homework. I will put the homework also there. This is something I'm starting from these batches, the current batches that we are running. I will just give a brief reference of the homework or the question number. So no question number today, just read the examples. This I will cover tomorrow again. I may start from this topic only. Review the examples properly. This is your homework. And whatever I have covered today, scribble it down. You don't have to learn it by heart. You are not in a school right now. Application should be clear. The concept should be in your grip. Application should be strong. Okay, done. So today's class is till this point only. Generally, your class time will run from approx, the recording time will be approx 2.5 hours or 2 or 40 minutes. 2:30, 2:40 approx that will run. Tomorrow, yes, it will be a live class. Let's schedule it at 6 p.m. Hoping that there is no noise here, that due to which we had a little trouble today. I think 6 p.m. it should be sorted. Tomorrow 6 p.m. I'm keeping it. Once I get a confirmation that work is completely done, we will see if we require to do it from 5 to 8. Otherwise, we will keep 6 to 8:30. It's fine. And recorded students, for them it is irrelevant. Anyways, I'm updating the lectures daily. Okay. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Bye bye. Take care. Have a very good day tomorrow. Revise it. See you at 6 p.m. tomorrow. I will update the notes in half an hour. I will update the lecture as well in the application. Okay, guys. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you for joining live. Bye bye. Good night. Bye. Enjoyed? Yes. Great. To be honest, I am also enjoying this batch a lot. I had some, not a doubt. See, what happens is our day-to-day language, we use English also, but Hindi also. So I had a little fear that maybe I will be able to deliver what I'm committing or not. Hindi batch now I'm confident. We know what we are delivering. But this batch also, touch wood, from my side, I'm feeling very satisfied. And I'm really happy to see that it is being translated the way I imagined. I hope you guys are enjoying. Let's see tomorrow, 6 p.m. Bye bye.